Ricky, mate, as far as Derby days go, that has to go down as one of the worst performances I've seen, especially in that first half. We can take light of whatever happened in the second half, but that was pretty diabolical today, was it not?
It was shocking, absolutely shocking. Very, very similar to one of some of all his darkest days, where we're playing against a top side. Don't take anything away from City. They are absolutely an unbelievable team. Absolutely unbelievable. But you've got to go out there. If you've got any... Look, I don't want to say this about a new manager. I used to say this about Ollie. If you've got any idea about the game, you've got to set yourself up. I've said this on so many shows, and I've had people in the comments saying, "Oh, we're not Aston Villa, we're not Birmingham City." You've got to set yourself up to be difficult to beat, and we've got too many attack-minded players. I know we're Man United, but you're disrespecting City, really, playing with the amount of attacking players that we played with. We needed another midfield player who was going to work back and make it more solid. A lot of people saying Casemiro should have started. I said to a few lads before the game, these can get 4 or 5 against us, whoever plays in midfield. We needed an extra man in midfield. But look, I'm like a stuck record. Bruno's playing too far up. Then you've got 2 attack-minded wingers as well who do work back. They do track back. I want to say something else about the wingers as well, by the way. But there's just too many attack-minded players. Rashford can't get a kick at the ball. He's up top. Well, I was about to say on his own, but he's not on his own because Bruno's up there most of the time as well. And I heard, what's his name? The lad who used to play for City. I forgot his name now. He was on at half-time. And he said...
Richards.
Yeah, Richards. He said at half-time when they were looking at one of the goals, obviously he doesn't watch United with the same passion that I watch United. But as City broke away, he said, I can't believe United have got so many players up the field and there's a massive big space in the middle of the field. I'm sure there'll be people absolutely slagging off the midfield players. I've said it time and time again. There's time and time again where there's only McTominay and Eriksen. You need more players in that area of the field. They're just walking round us. And like I say, even he noticed it on one particular goal. He said, there's too many players up the field and there's too many attacking players. On the wingers, by the way, scored a great goal, Anthony. And I know one or two will probably say, well, I didn't expect us to get more than one. He scored a cracking goal. Especially when not especially when you're defending. It counts when you're attacking as well. I just don't like these inverted wingers. Dalot hasn't got the same protection when he's got a left-footed player. A right-footed player coming back naturally tries to keep his winger that side of him towards the touchline. You're defending with your right foot as you're looking out. As you're looking out to that player, you're defending with your right foot, and it feels more natural, and you're more prepared to put yourself in a position where you could tackle if necessary. And I don't mean necessarily to make a tackle. If you put yourself in a position where you could make a tackle with your right foot, that player sees you there, and he might check back and pass it backwards. So he sees you there. But a left-footed player isn't as inclined to put himself in a position where it looks like he can tackle you with his right foot. Do you know what I'm coming from? So you're just another yard or two off the pace, and it encourages Grealish to go forward against his fullback rather than turning back because he's against 2 men. So it's not just when you're attacking, I'm desperate. I'll be honest with you, Adam. I mean, look, it might go well against one of the other teams. I'm gutted with this signing because we were playing with Sancho and Elanga. I know Elanga's right-footed, but I like Sancho on the right. I don't think he's been the same. I thought he was playing well on the right, and we've signed a right winger and we've put him on the left. I don't think he's playing as well on the left. And I'm talking here for defensive shape as well, not just attacking-wise. Like I say, he did score a great goal, Anthony, but City are that good. Yeah. We needed more behind the ball and we needed a better team shape. And I believe the team shape's better when you've got a right-footed right winger and a left-footed left winger.
Yeah, I mean, defensively, mate, we were all at sea there today, and there's not much more you can really add to what you've already said there in terms of getting it right. We just got it completely wrong, and we're overawed by the whole occasion. But going into the forward line, Rick, you've seen a difference there when the ball went up to Foden, it stuck. Haaland, it stuck. Rashford and Sancho, especially today, mate, insanely disappointing up front in terms of controlling the ball and actually holding on to the ball. It goes to show, and I know I've seen a lot of tweets from journalists pretty much after the game saying heads have to roll after this type of performance. And very interesting how Rashford was subbed off, then Sancho was both subbed off. I thought in that order that was right in terms of performance. Both were bad, but Rashford completely off out the middle, swap for Martial was key today. Can you see this result sort of having an influence on Ten Hag going forward now, to see how it just doesn't work on the big occasion with this? We need to build something more up front, and Rashford is not the man for the middle.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I mean, I think we said even after pre-season, the managers, I think the manager's heart and mind was set on having Martial.
Yeah, it was.
9. And you can see we're better with Martial at number 9. He's only got to play there he come on for half an hour, didn't he? And you can see the difference. And one or two will say, "Oh, City took the foot off the gas. You know, they made a few subs, blah blah blah." That might well be true, but it still doesn't mean that you're going to get hold of the ball properly like he does. You know, Rashford's not. I mean, I'd love to see the stats. Rashford hardly got a kick at the ball, but when he did get it, I remember one ball coming to him in the first half, virtually on the centre spot, and I don't know what he did. He tried to lay it off, and there's nobody there, and he just went on the attack.
That was the one last year got the card for, mate. He got the yellow card and killed us.
To his feet in the second half, and he seemed to have a little bit of time. He just held it a second and tried to pass it, and it went straight to them. When he received it, he could have passed it comfortably, and he passed it straight to them. So he was very, very poor. Someone's just said to me on a WhatsApp, you know, he was poor, but he wasn't the poorest. I don't know who played worse. Did anybody play worse than Rashford? Look, it's a difficult job playing up top virtually on your own as well. You know, I appreciate that, but you do need a little bit more, and you certainly need a bit of strength and control when you get. Look at Martial, won a penalty there. The other year he's won a penalty again because he's trying to get hold of the ball. Try and get hold of the ball.
I think definitely that is the way. I think Ten Hag based his system. Do you feel like the system would work more when we can hold on to the ball better in these type of games? It takes the pressure off the defence and the constant wave of attack after attack. If we can actually hold the ball up and create something, actually give them the mindset of, oh, we can't go gun-ho here. But when they smell blood, like that ball is not sticking up front, you could tell with City. And they fed off it, didn't they? It felt like they could just roam forward at any chance they want because they know they had more than enough at the back. We need that extra bite up top to take the pressure off, do you feel?
Yeah. I heard in commentary they were saying, it was Gary Neville who said it, he said he felt sorry for the defenders because the midfield and the forwards are giving it away so easily all the time.
I thought a bit of that.
I do agree with that, and I'm still going to defend McTominay and Eriksen a little bit because they're just in front of the defence. But when they look up, they've not got the options. Rashford doesn't find enough space. It's difficult, and okay, they did try one or two difficult ones, but I would on today's showing. I would sort of let a lot of the defenders and McTominay and Eriksen off a little bit. None of them had good games. But I just
would you call McTominay for letting Foden go and Eriksen for letting Foden go for the first and then defending that corner? I mean, someone bigger than Eriksen has to be on Haaland. Someone needs to take charge there.
Someone's got to take charge. Surely McTominay's got to mark him. Surely.
Yeah, I'd have thought the same.
But it's up to the players to organise it, and I'm not just defending McTominay here. He might be told, that's your man, that's your man, that's your man, but you need a little bit more idea than that. You've got to think, well, I'm 6'4". He might be 6'5", that Haaland, I don't know, but you've got a chance against him rather than Eriksen marking him. On the one, I mean, they've been saying that he let Foden go on the first goal, but we've got like a line of defenders and a couple of midfield players, and he's still amongst midfield players who it might get cut back to. On another day, it gets cut back, but it's just glaringly obvious when it goes to that man. There are defenders in front of Foden, and if Eriksen goes back with Foden, he's leaving two players unmarked there where he's already standing, and it's a difficult one. If Foden, let's say Foden hits the post there, it gets completely forgotten about. Do you understand what I mean? But the fact that he smashes it in, people look for reasons. On about reasons for goals as well. I put a thing out on Instagram at half time. Molasses, real coincidence, really, because it was the fourth goal again, as it was at Brentford. Shaw got beat for pace by a player who scored at Brentford, and it was the fourth goal, and everybody was screaming for his head. And I said before it happened at half time, I put it on Instagram. I said, Molasses are there, outpaced and outstrengthed by Foden far too easily. on a
Yep.
40-yard race to the back post, and he's beaten him far too easily to get the 4th goal. And I wasn't surprised that he got the curly finger at half time.
Yeah, that was it. It didn't get much better, mate. I mean, we got the goals in the second half. We're going to have to cut it short there. Rick, you're going to be on the forum anyway, where you can elaborate a little bit more with everyone else. But cheers for coming on, Rick.
No problem, mate. Thank
I'll
you.
see you in the forum, buddy.